John Wayne was known for portraying fierce on-screen characters, but how much of that bled onto set? Because according to this one anecdote, he almost got into a fight with a fellow actor whilst filming a movie and called him an arrogant little bastard. The legendary maker of Western films and all-around tough guy, John Wayne had the ability to command a set and a room with a simple sneer and an accurately timed fake punch. In his pomp, the man they called the Duke was the subject of simple stories where good guys defeated bad guys. But as his career moved on, there came the rise of the new Hollywood movement and the increasing visibility of method actors repeatedly rubbing him up the wrong way. He was never one to hold back his opinion, so Wayne was often found casting out criticism to his peers and contemporaries. But still, in 1946, his career was starting to hit the heights that any actor would have dreamed of, and he agreed to star in a film directed by Howard Hawks that would later become one of his most beloved. But still, despite all of this, the chance to work with Howard Hawks and the opportunity that the film would bring, Wayne still found an issue on set, and more specifically with a new young actor trying to make his way. So the film Red River is a fictionalized retelling of the first ever cattle drive from Texas to Kansas. Naturally, it features perilous moments of punching purity and more accurately focuses on the feud between Texas rancher Thomas, played by John Wayne, and his adopted adult son, played by Montgomery Clift. It was his first ever big picture role, and it would be the start of Clift's impressive career and the duo's uncomfortable rift. The problem was that this on-screen fight that the pair would have to share at the climactic end of the movie was bringing to light some more personal issues that existed between the two. There was a genuine fear that this on-screen battle may also spill over to the offset too. The two men were about as opposed as they could be politically. Clift represented a new age of thinking and a generation of men who had been tarnished by the horrors of war. Meanwhile, John Wayne was one of the staunchest conservative Republican patriots one would ever hope to meet. Things were unlikely to go smoothly. To overcome these issues for the creative good of the film, the two parties agreed to not talk about politics on set. The only issue is they had nothing else to talk about, and so the two of them grew increasingly further apart. And so from that, John Wayne and his co-star Walter Brennan became passionate in their dislike for Montgomery Clift. They even called him an arrogant bastard off set and avoided him altogether, making it an incredibly tough filming experience for Clift. When once again presented with the opportunity to star alongside Wayne, Brennan and director Hawks on the hugely successful Rio Bravo, Clift turned it down to avoid the group, with the role eventually going to Dean Martin. They laughed and drank and told dirty jokes and slapped each other on the back, said Clift of the group. They tried to draw me into their circle, but I couldn't go along with them. The machismo thing really repelled me because it seemed so forced and unnecessary. But look, whilst it was clear that John Wayne was not a fan of Montgomery Clift, he can count himself in good company. Over the years of his career, John Wayne would use his booming voice to cast aspersion over some of the greatest actors of the generation. Jane Fonda, Marlon Brando, Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman have all boasted a similar sense of disdain from their experiences of working with John Wayne. If you want more of the best stories from the world of pop culture, don't forget to like and subscribe to Far Out Magazine.